The Battle of Jericho, walls that came tumbling down, based on Joshua 6. Imagine if someone told you that shouting and blowing trumpets could bring down huge, strong walls. Would you believe it? That's exactly what happened to God's people, the Israelites, in the city of Jericho. Let's find out how trusting God made the impossible happen. The Israelites were traveling to the special land God had promised them, but there was one big problem: the city of Jericho. Its enormous walls made it seem impossible to enter. The people in Jericho thought they were safe behind their high walls, but they didn't know God had a plan. Joshua, the leader of the Israelites, prayed to God for help. God told Joshua, "I have delivered Jericho into your hands," and gave him a very unusual plan. Joshua shared God's instructions with the people. For 6 days, the Israelites marched around Jericho once a day in complete silence. 7 priests led the way, blowing trumpets, while others carried the Ark of the Covenant, a special chest that represented God's presence. People trusted God and followed the plan, even though it seemed strange. On the 7th day, everything changed. God told them to march around the city 7 times. After the 7th lap, the priests would blow their trumpets, and everyone was to shout as loudly as they could. That morning, the Israelites got up early and marched. Once, twice, 3 times, until they had marched 7 times around Jericho. The priests blew their trumpets, and the people shouted with all their might. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and the massive walls of Jericho came tumbling down. The Israelites rushed in and took the city, just as God had promised. This victory wasn't because of the Israelites' strength or weapons. It was because they trusted and obeyed God completely. What can we learn from this story? Trust God's plans, even when they seem unusual. The Israelites trusted God's strange instructions, and their obedience led to an incredible miracle. God's power is limitless. Just like He brought down Jericho's walls, God can help us overcome any challenge when we trust Him. Obedience brings blessings. Following God's instructions completely brings us closer to Him and shows our faith. Questions to think about. Have you ever faced something that seemed impossible? How did you trust God in that situation? Why do you think it's important to obey God, even when we don't fully understand His plan? What does this story teach you about how powerful God is? When you face a challenge that feels too big, remember Jericho. God, nothing is impossible, and He is always ready to help when we trust Him. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Bible-based stories.